Hey guys, welcome back. This is your friend Trickman01, and today we're going to try to go to Dres. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for everyone who tuned in for my live stream where we landed on Duna. We still have a Kerbal stranded out there. We will rescue that person eventually. But what I wanted to do today, obviously, like I said, is go to Dres, and I also want to hopefully come back. Dres has very low gravity, so I think I'm able to. And as luck would have it, I think I'm in just about the right position to actually be able to come pretty close to Dres at this point. Here is Dres right here. Here's Kerbal right here. We want Dres to be just under 90 degrees in front of us. So it's just about where it needs to be. I didn't do any time skipping or anything, which is quite amazing, all things considered. So we're just going to go ahead and take off. We are throttled up already. And this time, for those of you who watched the live stream, you know I had to activate and deactivate. I have put my solar panels in an action group so that they'll all come on at once. And we can also put them away just as easily. So we are going to launch. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, blast off. We have Samamone Kerman in the cockpit. Samamone looks a little nervous. I think we all would be. It's really not a big deal. I also added some more control to this thing, so that should help too. Be able to get this thing to turn over. And like I said, we want to watch our meters per second. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip here until we get to orbit. So I will see everybody when we are in a nice stable orbit so we can plan out our Dres encounter together. See you there. Alright guys, and we are back. And we have reached where I think is the best burn position to get us out of Kerbal's orbit and into solar orbit, and hopefully allow us to encounter Dres over here. Why can't I select you as a target, Dres? Maybe I need this up? I don't know. Either way, we're gonna go ahead and start burning until we reach Kerbal escape, and then at that point we're going to switch our focus back. No, I can't. Whatever. I don't know why it won't allow me to set Dres as a target right now. Maybe I need to restart the game. But we'll do that after we get this burn out of the way. Oh, no. Yeah, here's Dres right here. So, have a little bit of fuel left. Alright, it looks like we've reached Kerbal escape already, and we want to get our orbit somewhere around here-ish. And this first stage has served us really well so far, so we are grateful for that. Let's go ahead and do that, and we'll just wait for it to burn a little bit farther. And then at that point I may need to save my game and exit so I can set Dres as a target, which I feel like I should already be able to do. But anyways, let's see where our orbit is. And as soon as it gets a little bit closer, we should just have plenty of fuel for this maneuver. Plenty of fuel indeed. Just a little bit farther, I think. And we'll call it right about there. Alright, so let's see. Will it allow us to set Dres as a target? No, it won't, but we're going to go ahead and quick save anyways. And let us try to switch our focus back to the ship over here. No. Let's go ahead and get into a solar orbit. Then I'm going to go ahead and restart the game and try to make some final maneuvers as we get a little bit closer to Dres. So I will see you guys there. Alright, and good news, guys. We have gotten our Dres encounter right over here, as you can see. Let me lower my microphone a little bit. I'm hearing some feedback. Yeah, about 27,000 kilometers above the surface of Dres, but that is an encounter. Once we get over here a little bit, I think we can probably make it closer. We can see exactly where we're missing. But for the moment, that's pretty good. I did use much more fuel than I wanted to. Should have planned things out a little bit differently, but I still think we have more than enough to land on Dres. So I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys somewhere over by the periapsis over here. Alright, I will see everybody on the other side. Alright, and welcome back. You can see we are getting pretty close to Dres now. Here's Dres. And here is our encounter with Dres over here. We got a periapsis of about 1,300 kilometers. Not as close as quite as close as I would have liked, but I did make a few mistakes on my way out here. I still think we should be able to get into a nice little orbit. So before we do that, let's go ahead and can we see Dres from here? Let's see. Dres should be that away. If we point right at Dres. Don't quite see it yet. According to our little compass, it should be right there. It might be somewhere over there. But let's go ahead and get a little bit closer. Make sure we quick save. Like that. We'll get just a little bit closer to Dres. And once we get kind of close to our encounter, we'll see if we can't get a burn. To make sure we get into orbit. It is going to be a relatively short encounter, cosmically speaking. And so let's try to get into our counter, then we'll do a little bit of science, and at the same time we're going to plan our burn. So here we go. And right there. We are now officially in an encounter with Dres, I think. Yeah, we are. So let's actually do our burn as quickly as possible. Plan that out. Retrograde. Whoops, too much maybe. Too little. Right there. Should be just about perfect. I'm not sure if we have enough juice for that. We may actually not have enough juice. Oh, well. There is Dres right there. I'm not sure we'll have enough juice to land on this like I was hoping to. What if we do something like this, maybe? Oh. Well, that just happened. Well, we're gonna try. Worst case scenario, we don't succeed. Don't think I have quite 2 minutes worth of fuel left, but it's possible that between this stage and our last stage, I may be able to. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and close that. We're gonna get some science out of this, at the very, very least. See, our solar panels are facing the sun, which is nice. So let's take a crew report. Looking down, you see a massive canyon on the surface. It could be several kilometers deep. Transmit that. I forgot to even pay attention to how much science, but it'll show it up here. 35 science added. And what else do we want? Let's go ahead and take a mystery goo. The goo feels right at home here. I think we're gonna go ahead and transmit. another 21 science. So far we've gotten all the science we need. So I can unlock that part I want. Ooh, another 35 science. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and transmit. Keep an eye on our electric charge. Should have plenty though. And can we get temperature yet? Nope. Pressure data? Nope. EVA. Hold on. Simamone. Oop. Keep that and get them back into your cockpit. And we will review the stored data and transmit for another 56 science. And we'll go ahead and quick save right there. And our burn's still a little bit away, and I think we may be able to. We might have to start a little bit early though. Alright, we'll go ahead and get right about there, and we're gonna go ahead and start our burn here. Because I'm not sure how much oomph the nuclear engines are gonna give us. Slow down. Alright. The other thing we need to do is go ahead and retract our solar panels so that they don't accidentally get broken off by the Kraken. Alright, so let's start our burn. I have a lot of Delta V to do and not much fuel to do it with. There is Dres right there. So that is working. Let's check our fuel levels. Tough to tell. Tough to tell indeed. This whole mission could have gone a little smoother on the front side, but it didn't. So we're not going to abort this mission. We're just going to follow through. I do have some things I feel like I could do better next time, so I'll learn a little bit from it. We're about halfway through our burn now. It looks like we have maybe almost enough fuel. And then looking at our next stage, we may also, it's gonna be pretty close, I guess. Still have a lot of Delta V to use though, or to go through. Let's line this up just a little bit more. Alright, but I saw this start to flicker a little bit, so that gives me a lot of hope actually. And these nuclear engines are pretty awesome. Doesn't look like we have that much fuel left. But I guess we do. Alright, so now this tail over here is starting to move pretty rapidly, which is a good sign. But these engines are going to give out any second now. If these engines by themselves manage to get me into orbit, I will be I will be more shocked than Simamone looks right now. Is it Simamone or Simamone? Oh, and they might. It's really, really close, guys. Oh, if these engines pull off one more miracle. It's gonna be anyone's guess, anyone's game. And... oh my gosh, they did it. The engines got me into orbit. They pulled one last feat of heroics. Thank you so much, nuclear engines. And they're actually going to get us pretty close orbit. We will land on Dres at this point. Beautiful. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and quick save there. And then I'm going to circularize my orbit from the periapsis a little bit. And I will see you guys when we get to the landing part of the episode. And we are back, guys. You can see we're pretty close to Dres now. We're going to come in for a landing very quickly on the daytime side of the planet. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. We should be just about in position now to start our burn. And let's make sure we get our HUD back up. Just wanted to show you how nice and close and beautiful this planet was. Monet Kerman seems pretty stoic right now, but as soon as we kick in the engines, he's going to freak out a little bit. Let's see where we are. We can probably, I would say right here, we'll start to burn retrograde until we have almost a complete up and down thing going. So let's go ahead and get close to that mark. And then we'll start a burn. And Monet looks very excited. It's the first Kerbal not to ever see this view with his bare eyes. Almost overshot my node as usual. So let's go ahead and burn quite a bit, actually. Alright, you can see it's doing exactly what we want it to do. We want to land on the daytime side of the planet. Oop. Just like that. Switch back to orbit view. Well, I don't want to reverse my orbit around the planet. I want to make it almost look like a straight line. Oops. Come back here. Come back here, retrograde. And that's close enough. So now comes the hard part, the actual landing. So I'm going to record the whole time, but in editing I'm going to chop it down to just the exciting bits. And I say that just in case something exciting happens. So hopefully, I don't know how much of this you guys are going to see, but I'm going to narrate as much as I can, as much seems important. It'll probably be down to just the last few thousand meters, honestly. Alright, seems like we're starting to get kind of close to the surface now. So we can burn. And I did remember this time, whoops, let's line this up, to put the proper lights on the bottom so that we'll be able, whoop, wrong way, I'm starting to go up now, dang it. So these lights, these rounded lights, reach farther than the square lights that I'm using to illuminate our capsule. Speaking of which, I already got my crew reports. Oops. So we should be able to see relatively earlier when we are going to land. And once we get close, you'll see the lights actually have a nice little, whoop, I keep doing that. The lights have a nice little special effect as well. Let's go a little bit faster, I suppose. Let it get up to about 20. I'm not sure how high the surface is here. Let's see, we're moving towards the surface at 31 meters a second. Let's go ahead and get out of that view. Once we see either a shadow on the ground or lights, we will be able to tell just how close we're getting. I may start to put away my electric charge here in just a second. Should have removed these lights because I added these ones to illuminate the cockpit. Let's keep an eye on the surface. Don't get distracted, Trick Man. You guys know me well enough by now to know that I'm going to get distracted. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, so with the science we get from this, we should be able to do the Jewel mission as I planned, and that will probably be a two-part episode. Let's go ahead and do this. Get rid of some velocity. And I'm still not seeing a light or a shadow, and this part of Dres is really low compared to some of the other parts. The highest mountains reach over 6 kilometers. Right now we're at less than 2 kilometers from whatever it's measuring against. I'll have to figure it out. I'll have to figure out what it measures against on planets that don't have a sea. Because on Earth and Kerbal it is above sea level, but I'm not sure about these planets without seas. So I think I'm just going to leave this landing part uncut. It's not taking... Oh, okay, you can see the lights on the ground now. I made them nice and bright blue so that it'd be easy to see. Maybe I should have made them red, actually. We are coming in for a landing. It's just a matter of seconds now. And cut off the engines. Oops, I forgot to close my solar panels. I hope they don't plop off. Ooh, that worked out better than I hoped. Alright, so quick save, and we have landed. Samamone Kermans is the first Kerbal not to land on Dres. So let's go ahead and get a crew report. Seems like the right thing to do. We record the crew's assessment of the situation. That's not very exciting. Let's also take a temperature reading, which we should be able to do from this science capsule that we've already started, which says collected and recorded data from the environment. So let's go ahead and transmit that, I suppose. See if we can log some pressure data, which we can't because Dres is still in a vacuum. Extend the ladder. I don't think I set the ladder high enough, honestly. Not that it really matters. What else we can do? A mystery goo. Let's observe it. And we'll transmit. Yes. 40%. 100%. Excellent, excellent. And let's go ahead and do a science junior. 40. Ooh, if we could get that back, it'd be worth 200 science. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to go with 20 science, which is fine. Which is fine. All right, and then the last thing we need to do on this mission, an EVA. Let's have him let go. And the surface, I believe the surface gravity is relatively close to the moon's. All right. So let's, first things first, let's do this. Look how happy he is. Let's get a screenshot. All right, and let's go ahead and get an EVA report. That's worth 64 science, so we'll keep it. Surface sample. You find traces of a large number of elements likely deposited by impacts over time. We'll keep that because we can't transmit it from the soup anyways. And let's plant our flag. Oops. First, Dres landing. How am I supposed to get back? Okay. There we can see the flag. So that's going to be it for this mission for now, I suppose. Let's go ahead and take another screenshot right here. I think you do that. And let's go back into the capsule. Let's zoom out a little bit. And bunk. And we'll board. We have plenty of electric charge, so let's transmit all of our data. Lots and lots of data to go through, but I did unlock this large battery during my live stream, or after my live stream, one of them. So we got a lot of science from that. So Samamone, for the time being, you're here on Dres. You may have enough fuel to get back into orbit, and we are going to come rescue you one of these days. Turn off your lights for now just to save some energy. You have the solar panels though, so you should be fine. But let's go back to the Space Center. Alright, science, research and development. Let's do, one thing I want for sure is not that. I kind of do want this though, just to see it. But this radial attachment point is really something I think I need, because I do want to send a Kerbal to another planet and have him return one of these days, and this radial attachment point is going to help me a lot with that. It'll help me build stable rockets that I can use to put fuel exchangers into space, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Long story short, it's going to help me do that. So let's go ahead and unlock that, and that gives us, one of those would come in handy, one of those would come in handy, all of those would come in handy. What does this unlock? Oh, these are just structural parts, it looks like. Okay, cool, cool. Ooh, nose cones. I could really use this nose cone. And we can also unlock something else. So what else should we unlock while we're doing this? What is this? Seismic accelerometer. That'll help us get some... Landing gear. We have the external command seats. Those are rover parts, basically. What is this? This gives us the ion stuff. Not too interested in that right now. That gives us some of that. Turbojet engine, ram air intake. There's nothing here I'm really super wanting, so I'll go ahead and do this for the seismic accelerometer. That will help us get some science in the future. Ooh, what is this? Sensor array computing nose cone, that could come in handy. And the gravioli detector, that could also come in handy for lots of science. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Be sure to leave a like. If you're watching this before Saturday the 19th, I will be doing a live stream of Kerbal Space Program that day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on my Twitch channel, twitchtv.trick_man01. It's going to be... I'm going to be having a link for donations to Child's Play at the bottom of right below the screen. It's going to be a completely new save file. It's just going to be for the live stream. So if you guys are interested in joining that, please do. Until then, this is Trick Man 01, and I will see you guys next time.